Well, it's finally here. The long-awaited, much-anticipated The Flash. The Flash opens this week. I'm going to try to go see it Thursday night, since Thursday night's going to be a slow night as it pertains to anything on TV. Some have already seen it. I know there were some screenings happening as early as yesterday in some IMAX theaters across the country. But so the question is, how's The Flash going to fare? What's its projections as far as how it's going to open its first weekend? The Flash movie, first box office projections revealed. Will it succeed or flop? The first box office projections for DCU's latest entry, The Flash, started the conversation of whether the new movie will succeed or flop. Now, keep in mind, this movie, it's probably going to be the most expensive movie ever made. When you factor in the reshoots, the marketing, I mean, it's gonna top Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. DC Studios, and only a few weeks away from finally debuting. Wow, say that fast. The Scarlet Speedster's first solo movie on the big screen, which will bring back Michael Keaton's Batman, along with a few other key heroes and villains. Considering the movie's multiversal story and the star power involved, Warner Brothers is certainly hoping for The Flash to be a hit, especially considering a few early reviews that call it one of the best superhero movies ever made. That's funny. Rotten Tomatoes isn't working. Go figure. Box Office Pro shared its first box office projections for Warner Brothers' The Flash before it opens in theaters on June 16th. The site estimated a domestic opening weekend of somewhere between 115 million and 140 million, with a domestic total projection of 280 million to 375 million. Okay, now, this article, when that was wrote, was back and of course, my Chrome just crashed on me. That article was written back in May. This article from Deadline says the overseas opening looks better than the domestic. 155 million to 165 million to 70 million plus in the US and Canada. Well, I don't know about you guys, but 70 million plus domestically is a whole heck of a lot less than 115 to 140 million projected. Or I should say, what they're saying here is a domestic total projection of 280 to 375. I think this is wrong here. I think the 115 to 140 is more like the domestic projection. So this article was written back in May. This one here from Deadline was just written yesterday. And this says that the Flash has been sitting around 70 to 75 million tracking for quite some time. So, you know, until it actually gets released, the numbers are going to be all thrown about. Should the Flash Flash reached the high end of that mark, it would be the highest domestic opening weekend for the DCEU since 2016's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, which opened with 166 million at the box office. I don't see the Flash doing 166 million. Most recently, Shazam: Fear of the Gods opened to a horrid 30 million. That was back in March. Black Adam, 67 million. That was, I think, was it February or January? I don't remember. I did go see it. I haven't seen Shazam yet. Should the Flash reach the high end of the total domestic projections, it would rank second in DCEU history, coming in behind 2017's Wonder Woman. The top domestic totals for the DCEU can be seen below. It's not going to get any. It's not going to get rid of that. It's not. Top of that, the low end of the box office projections would far outpace this year's Shazam: Fear of the Gods, which ended its theatrical run as the worst performing movie in DCEU history at 133.4 million. Pros and cons of The Flash. The pros, on the positive side, you've got James Gunn, who's throwing his support behind it. People listen to James Gunn. That's a pro. And of course, you got Michael Keaton's Batman in the movie. That's a huge pro. Even though that could be seen as, providing some nostalgia bait. The cons, well, Ezra Miller. That's a big con right there. And his ongoing legal issues, which has, has put a dark cloud over the movie. Like I said, Michael Keaton, he could be seen as nostalgia bait. Ben Affleck's Batman is also involved in the movie, but I think it's for like 5 minutes. And The Flash is supposed to be that reset of the DCEU. It does have some stiff competition with, well, I wouldn't say it's too stiff, with Transformers, which didn't do very well at the box office this past weekend. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, which has done decent at the box office. It was released 2 weeks ago. You got Indiana Jones coming out. Indiana Jones is not going to do well at the box office. That's my opinion. So I think The Flash has a chance to be decent. The question is it going to do well enough to make money? Which, that remains to be seen. I think it'll probably do, this is my opinion, without any scientific looking at the numbers, I think it'll do between 700 and 800 million. We'll see if I'm right when it's all said and done. I just know that Rotten Tomatoes has The Flash right now at 70% critic score, 95% audience score. It's going to crash my browser again, but you have to dig deeper into the critics' reviews. Which I can't seem to get into. Go figure. So it remains to be seen. So comment down below. Tell me what you think. You think the Flash movie is gonna be a box office hit for DC? You think it's gonna make? You think it's gonna make money? You think it's gonna break even? You think it's gonna bomb? Comment down below. Tell me what you think. And while you're at it, please, if you would, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. Share this video with your friends and family. Hit the notification bell to get notified when my content goes live here on YouTube. You can also catch me on Rumble and Odyssey. And as always, I thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in, and I will see you later.